On Monday this week at Prehab for Runners, we're working on knees and looking at balance at the knee. If you guys came to class, this is your homework. Super short recap of what we worked on. Basically, tight quads and loose hamstrings can sometimes equal some funky stuff going on at the knee. So this is our homework routine that we're going to do. It's going to take you somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, and we're going to do this before we go for a run. So 3 exercises. It's going to be really quick. All we need is a ball and some voodoo floss. First off, we're going to start with the ball, and we're going to work on releasing our quads. So we're going to use the ball, basically working from just above the knee all the way up to the hip. We're also going to work around to the outside a little bit into some of the lateral muscles as well. So we're going to take the ball's going to go right here, and we're going to add pressure on top. And then just like we did in class, we're going to work on bringing that heel up to your butt and then all the way out. And we'll do kind of a couple reps of that here. We're going to move around. You can kind of hunt around, find some spots that are a little bit uncomfortable. So when you find one that's not super happy, then you'll do a couple heel kicks. Bring that heel up to your butt. And then we're also going to use the ball, and we're going to come a little bit around to the outside. So kind of where our TFL and sartorius are. So we're going to bring the ball a little more to the outside. You're going to have to kind of lift that opposite hip up a tiny bit. And then you can kind of work down. So the ball's going to be in about here. And same thing, bringing that heel up to your butt. So that's our first exercise. We're going to do about a minute on each side. So 1 minute right, 1 minute left. Then we're going to move on to our second one. So that was our little bit of a release, trying to calm those tight muscles down. Next, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch. So we're going to do couch stretch. So if your knees are a little sore with this one, you can always fold your mat over. So we're going to fold our mat over, and we're going to set up. I'm going to take one leg, and I'm going to work on pointing that toe up the wall, planting that knee, and then the other leg is going to come through at the front, and I'm going to stand up. So since we're working on our quads today, not as much our hip flexors, when we work on our hip flexors, we're always in this position. When we're working our quads, we're going to come up a little bit more. So you should get a nice stretch all the way through the front of your quads here. Same thing as that first exercise. We're going to do about a minute on each side. So a nice long hold. 1 minute on the right, 1 minute on the left. And then our last one that we're going to work on, if you've got some voodoo floss to work on at home, we're going to use that for our last one. So we're going to work just above the knee. If you've used voodoo floss before, I always stress this with you guys when you're in class, but just a little recap. When we're using the voodoo floss, we're always going to start down low at the knee, and we're always going to work up. So we don't ever want to trap blood in a leg. So we're going to start low, work our way up high. So first wrap is going to be kind of nice and loose, just so that the band can start sticking to itself. And I'm starting basically 1 finger width above the kneecap. So first wrap is going to be fairly loose. Then I'm going to put about 50% stretch on that voodoo floss, and I'm going to work my way all the way up. So I'm doing about 50% stretch and 50% overlap. And when you're doing this, if at any time you get a little bit uncomfortable, you can always just take it off. You don't need to go for the full time. So I'm going to tuck that end in. So I've done kind of my 50% stretch, 50% overlap from just above 1 finger width above my kneecap all the way up. Now I'm going to stand up, and I'm basically going to go through as much range of motion as I can, and I'm going to do some just bodyweight squats. So standing up, I've got my voodoo floss on there. Feet are going to go about shoulder width apart. And for this one, I'm not caring too much about squat technique. So if you have to lift your heels up to get down nice and low, it doesn't matter too much. So you're going to go from here all the way down as low as you can, standing up, and then you're going to think about flexing with your quads when you get to the top, back down, and up again. So we're going to do 15 reps of that. We're going to do 15 on each side. So we'll do 15 on the right, 15 on the left, and then you can take that voodoo floss off. But that's homework for today. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.